Bonsoir tout le monde, it's Diane coming to you live from, I was going to say live Saturday night, it is Saturday night, from Le Mont Saint-Michel here in Normandy on the border of Brittany. Oof, I'm turning it around too soon. There we go. So I hope some of you will join me tonight. It's about an hour before sunset. It's been a really cloudy day, a rainy day. So I'll wait till I have a few of you here to get started. So I don't think we're going to see much of a sunset, although it is to my left here at the Mont Saint-Michel. We had a beautiful one last night. You could head over to my Instagram of the same name, We in France, to check out some of those pictures that I'll continue to post. But this is Le Mont Saint-Michel. And what we're going to do, if it's cool with you, as long as the weather holds out, I apologize for the wind now. Once we take shelter kind of inside the walls, that's going to die down. So stick with me. I'll try to do about 30 minutes if the weather holds out. If you can hear me okay, if someone, or all of you, can leave me a comment down below to just say hello, where you're watching from, if you can hear me okay, and if you see Le Mont Saint-Michel in front. So someone just confirm that we are good to go, and I'll get started. I'm just going to turn around here to show you. So when you come to the Mont Saint-Michel, if you take a car, there are tons of parking lots down this way. You can either walk, it takes a good 40 minutes if you walk at a slow pace, or you could take the free shuttle, and they run pretty much all day. And hey Cindy, hope you can hear me. Hope you see the Mont Saint-Michel. I'm going to keep walking because the wind, I'm sure, is annoying. There we go. Okay, excellent. Thanks, Sally, for confirming. Okay, we're going to get walking. Here we are. So, the Mont Saint-Michel, if you've ever been here before, especially in the month of June, this might look extremely strange for two reasons. One, if you've been here a really long time ago, this bridge that I'm currently on was not here. This is well, not brand new now, but in 2014, it was built to avoid the whole tidal situation so you can access the Mont. The very top is the Abbey, right up there by the Spire. It's actually closed to the public right now, but it is open at night in normal circumstances in July and August. So I'm going to walk as quickly as I can so we can get in, but I wanted to start the video with the view from the path here. The other reason why this might look very different if you've been here before is because there are no people. Usually it's packed this time of year on a nice night. Not as much as in the day, but this is Saturday night, and I'm not going to film the group next to me, but there's about 5 people. The shuttle we came in on had about 2 people. So, it's a symptom of the times. But it is open. Yesterday, the mask was advised. I am not wearing a mask now because I don't think you're going to be able to hear me well with the wind. So if I get into trouble in a crowded spot, I will put it on, but I'll just say hi real quick as we're walking. Here I am. So we're just walking in. It is super windy. Hair's going a little nuts, but that's who you're listening to. So just a quick thing. If you've never met me before, if we don't know each other, my name's Diane. I'm the American woman behind the Living Abroad lifestyle blog, We in France. I'm also a YouTuber channel of the same name. And I'd love if you hit like on this video, you hit share on your feed. So you share it with friends, or if you have a page, share it for me now just to get as many eyes as possible. I know many of you have canceled your trip to France because of the situation, or you've had to postpone it. I'm so sorry about that, but doing what I can here. We're just up here for the weekend, and just hope I can give you a little taste of France. So I'm not a professional tour guide. I'm not an expert on the Mont Saint-Michel, and I'm just going to tell you what I do know about where we are, and just kind of let you document this weird moment in time that we're all living through. Mont Saint-Michel, June 13th, Saturday night before sunset. All right, so first thing here, thank you so much for anyone who shared and is interacting in the comments, and I'll of course get back to anyone who has questions when I'm on a computer and can focus on them. So something here, and we'll just keep on walking because we have a lot to get through, is a very famous restaurant called La Mère Poulard. And I misspoke earlier. I confused the family name Poulard with Poulard, which is a fattened chicken, like a hen. That's actually just a family name. I did a Facebook Live from Concal earlier today. The water was the most beautiful that I've ever seen it. And I would love if you check that out on my page as well, if you're into Brittany. So La Mer Poulard, I'll show you, have you look at the menu while we're walking. Super famous restaurant. Usually there's a little bit of a cooking demonstration outside. They're famous for these beautiful omelets. Let me know if you've been to La Mer Poulard. I've heard the food is good. The demonstration is amazing. Their omelets are really, really interesting, the whole process. They're world-renowned. But the service isn't always great, and it might be a little overpriced. I don't know, you tell me. And you could just kind of see, I'll just keep moving. If you guys have never been on one of my walks before, I try to show a little bit of everything, say a few things, and then I move on quickly. So if I'm talking about something you don't really care about, stick with me. And if the wind is bothersome or you don't care for the commentary, you can mute me and just take in the view. It is quite a view. Let me tell you what you're in for. I'll run up the stairs and we can huff and puff together and you can look at the view. And what we're going to do, I'm just going to show you this drawbridge real quick before we cross. There's people coming and also it's quite a sight. So just check out that view. There we go. Yes. So let me tell you at least what I do know about the Mont Saint-Michel. So basically this is all granite rock and the structure is on an island surrounded by tidal water in the bay. And that tide is, I believe, if not the biggest, the second biggest, I think it's the biggest tidal area in France, with fluctuations that hit nearly 50 feet when they have these super tides. So if you came here before 2014, you'll have seen this without the bridge. And if you didn't come at the right time, you were kind of blocked. You can't just walk over because it is rock surrounded by the bay. Here's the tourism office. So we'll keep walking here. And the Mont Saint-Michel, back in the day, it was called Mont Tombe. Had a different name. But the Mont, as we know it today, it was named actually after Archangel Michael. And apparently, I don't know what your beliefs are, but apparently the name came to Saint Aubert, or Aubert. He was the bishop of Avranches, a town not far from here. It came to him in a dream to name this beautiful place after Archangel Michael. So apparently, that's how it got its name. And originally, this was a community for Benedictine monks. So that all kind of came into fruition in 966. So yeah, this is not a place that was put together for tourists. It's not just some place that showed up 100 years ago. It has a really, really rich history. And like I said, I'm just trying to give you a few details of what I do know. So forgive the wind and the heavy breathing. We are going straight up, but I want to try to give you as much information as I can. So I'll take little breaks to show you behind me and to look up just so I could still talk and scale the cliffs here and try to pack in as much as I can before it starts raining. So again, if you just joined me, we're at Le Mont Saint-Michel. And if you didn't recognize it as being Mont Saint-Michel, because there are no crowds, don't be fooled. There's really not much going on here now. And as you'll see, sadly, most of the restaurants are closed, as well as the Abbey. But the views are still as beautiful as always. They have been by the current restrictions, so we're gonna head up there. And I'll do my best to stop and pause, look at the comments, answer any questions. And so basically, after this place kind of came together as a Benedictine monk community, the first church was built, I guess a rudimentary abbey of some sort, and the town welcomed its first religious pilgrims. So they started coming then, and by the 11th century, they actually outgrew the current church, and they had to get a new plan and do an expansion. So that all got underway. Then, let's see, 1337, I want to say, we had the 100 Years' War, and the Mont Saint-Michel needed to be protected. Let me just turn around to show you where we came from. So basically, it needed to be protected during the war, sorry for the wind, by the military construction. I'm going to turn around so we don't get the wind. I'll try to turn when I don't feel the wind anymore for you. And then, as time went on, after the French Revolution, the monks pretty much abandoned the Abbey because it became a state prison that actually welcomed, I want to say, 15,000 prisoners. They kind of passed through the Mont Saint-Michel as a prison in that time up until 1863. So that's pretty intense. But these days, the Mont Saint-Michel is home to only 50 en français, permanent residents. It's a huge tourist hub. And we were in a tourist shop not far from here, just on the road in today, and they said sadly, between this period last year and this year, they welcomed 500,000 fewer tourists. So just to show you the effects. All right, let me give you a view. Here we go. So yeah, doing my part, that if you've never been to Le Mont Saint-Michel, make it a stop if you fly into Paris, take a weekend, take a few days to come up to Brittany, to come to Normandy. And I'll tell you more about that in a sec. Just show you where we came from. Okay. It's absolutely worth a visit, and after Paris, it is the biggest tourist attraction in France, welcoming millions of tourists each year, and for good reason. And I hope by the end of this, you will see why. Some restaurants, you know what, let me just peek in between the curtains. Although it's closed, hopefully you could see that there are tables. This isn't a restaurant, this is a store, but there's a restaurant right next to it with the curtains closed. I'm just trying to show you that certain restaurants have amazing views of the bay. So pretty much if you're walking up, and you'll see, let me just show you, this is all cobblestone. So something I always tell people is please, please, please don't wear your new heels or your new ballet flats. What you want to do is wear a sturdy shoe. Absolutely a sneaker, something with ankle support. Let's just take a look here. And if you look all the way up, look really closely at the top, you will see the Spire, the very top of the Abbey. We can't get up there today, but it's really nice. Okay, up we go. This is what I have ahead of me. So what I'm going to do for the next 20 seconds, I am going to run up there like a champ, be huffing and puffing at the top, but I just want to get you up as fast as we can. And if I'm talking during it, we're going to have to take it kind of slow just so I can make it through. All right, here we go. So enjoy the view. 1, 2, 3, upsy daisy. Just bear with me while I get up these steps, guys, because there's nothing really pretty to look at here if I keep talking. But we do have a view at the top. Almost there. Hey, Vero. Hey everyone, formerly French girl in Seattle, Veronique. She's awesome. Go check her out. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. Let me just show you this. And at the very top there in the Spire, I believe there's a statue of the Archangels. Okay. Let me show you this way. Look at the detail. Okay. So we're gonna head up these last steps, hang a right. Now I'm gonna show you a beautiful view out to the bay. So, question is, someone asked me earlier, she said she had mobility issues, not very fit. Can you come to Mont Saint-Michel? The answer is, if you're comfortable with walking, yes, you can. You absolutely can. You just need to take it slow. Wear good shoes. Stop as you're going up. Do not race as fast as you can, like I just did. Okay. Okay, so we're just gonna head down here because I'm gonna show you another view. Let me know if I'm doing okay, guys. It's really hard to narrate when you're running up and down steps, but I'm trying to go as quickly as I can to show you as much as possible. And I have a lot I want to tell you, but just want to get through the most difficult parts first. So there's little cutouts in the walls here. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to pause here, show you the view. So let me see. Okay, here we are. So let's just blow through a little more history. I do know that when we got to modern times, let's say World War II, I can tell you that the Mont Saint-Michel was actually spared. It was not destroyed. although it was occupied by the Germans from 1940 to, I want to say 44. All right, look at this view. And you'll see the tide is out. And if I point you down, you're going to see some little moving ants. They're not ants, they're people. And you could go out and walk on the sand. It's kind of a cross between sand and mud. Do not wear nice new hiking boots unless you want them destroyed and really dirty. Sorry, if the signal goes out, the signal pops out, everyone. It's just because there's a bit of stone here, so we're just working with what we have here. And you'll see some people put some nice writing in the sand. I see a heart, I see a Saint-Michel. So as we look out from the Mont Saint-Michel, you could see Concal. From Concal in my video earlier today on Facebook, I pointed out the Mont Saint-Michel. And again, I would highly, highly recommend if you're coming into Paris, maybe it's your first trip to France, get out of Paris. No disrespect to Paris, it's a wonderful city, but come out to Brittany, come out to Normandy, make your home base like we did, Mont Saint-Michel. We're staying at the Abbey's, about a 15-minute drive from here. We're gonna keep moving. And hello, little dog. Here we go. All right, this is what we have ahead of us, guys. We're gonna charge up like the champs that we are. Whoop. Pardon, petit. Okay, up we go. Let me just show you that view there. Okay. Right, so after World War II, we're starting to get into the modern times. Basically, it wasn't until, I regret trying to talk as I run, but I want to pack this in. It became a religious community once again, well after World War II. It wasn't until 1966. And then after that, Tom, is it up here that we want to go? Yeah, right? Then actually this whole Mont Saint-Michel, it became the first UNESCO World Heritage Site in France in 1979, which is quite an honor to be the first, and for good reason. All right, let's pause here. So, yeah, it's really great to be here, Veronique, without the crowds. It's insane. Okay, so this little path here split in two with a rope. Normally that would take you to the line to get to the Abbey. It's, I don't know, 10 or 14 euros, but it's closed because of you know what. All right, and this is where we came from. Dun, dun, dun. All right, we're gonna keep going. If you stick with me, we're gonna keep going. Ooh, gonna just loosen up my jacket, getting a little warm. So if anyone's curious, it's about 58, 60 degrees at the moment. A little overcast, and it's currently not raining. So we're gonna try to finish this until it starts raining. Yeah, sorry guys, sometimes the connection is just a little spotty. We are in the middle of nowhere. Well, kind of. Yeah, there's the view. And sometimes you'll see sheep out in the pasture. You might see tiny little white dots. I can see them. Not sure if the camera can pick it up. But sheep's graze in the meadow there. And something funny that I learned, they're actually kind of a type of sheep, like a type of beef or whatever, called agneau. That's the sheep, and then it's called pré salé. Well, the sheep. The baby sheep. Never tried it, but it's just because of I guess a special type of marsh, a salt marsh that they graze in. So sheep, lamb that come from here, they have a special kind of class, a special kind. There's some more people walking. So we're about, I want to say about 30 minutes before sunset. The sun does not set on this side. It sets on the other side, but because it was really, really rainy, we don't have a clear view tonight. Okay, and from where I'm standing, it's dizzying looking up. Let me show you this. Here we are. Yeah, it's really incredible to be here without that many people. You can get amazing shots right now and do your Facebook Live without bothering anyone, which is really nice. So yeah, for anyone who just joined, I mentioned that I was in Concal this afternoon. and I did a Facebook Live from there. The water was the most beautiful water I have ever seen in my trips to Brittany or Normandy. The video didn't even pick it up as clearly as what I saw in my eyes. So look at my Instagram for that. I'm seeing this is all blocked off, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take you around the other side. Normally that would be open. I knew the Abbey was closed, but it doesn't look like we could get there. Tom, why don't we head down, go to the side, and then show the view. We're not gonna be able to get up much higher than that, but let me show you. So basically what I was saying before is if you're not very fit or you're not really confident with doing things like this, just go slow. As long as you're able to walk comfortably and have comfortable shoes, don't let all the steps scare you. You don't have to go to the top. You can take all the time you need, but as far as I know, there's no elevator or anything like that to help you get to the top. So you do need to be able to walk. Okay. All right, everyone who's watching, if you're enjoying this, please give me a thumbs up, hit share on your feed, leave me a comment. It's been a little challenging to run up the stairs and talk, but we're doing it. We are doing it. It's not raining, so we're gonna go for it. All right, hanging a right, we're gonna head up here. So just so you could see where we are in proximity to where we came from, we just came down the stairs here. And there's our Abbey at the very top with our Archangel Michael Spire. All right, here we are. Cool, we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna show you a cool view of the bay at low tide here. I don't know if it's on its way in or out. We have some very friendly seagulls as well. There we are. All right. No problem, Cindy. Happy to give you all a little piece of France. It's the least I could do. All right. So if any of you are not following me on YouTube, my channel is the same name, We in France. And I just did a video about my top 5 endearing habits of French people. Check that out. I just published it this morning. And then if you're into language learning, about 2 weeks ago, I published a video on what to do, truths to remember if learning French is stressing you out. Just some things to keep in mind. So be sure to check out that YouTube channel. And then I have some amazing pics of Instagram. Oh, let me just show you. This is closed right now, but there are all these little nooks and crannies. There we go. Thanks so much, Veronique. Really appreciate that. And to anyone else who might have shared. Just trying to capture this weird moment in time coming out of lockdown. France was pretty much locked down till I want to say, I forget the exact date. Was it May 11th, something like that? We're going to head up here. Why not? See if we can get through. And then we were restricted until the beginning of June to only go 100 kilometers from our home. And then after that, everything was fair game. So we took it upon ourselves to go away for a weekend, and here we are. Okay, so again, this is blocked. I'm discovering this with you. Wind is gonna hit us, I apologize, but the view is worth it. I'll try to take shelter as we turn the corner. So here we are. Hey Amy, visited in 86, very cool. What an amazing thing to see on your first trip to France. So let me show you the view here again. Apologies for the wind. Let me show you the rooftops. Now, something you want to take note of is before, when I mentioned that kind of muddy sand, parts around the Mont Saint-Michel, they're actually they're quicksand, so you need to be careful. We've actually messed around in it when we've worn rubber boots and stuff, and we didn't sink, but you do need to be careful because the tide can come in very quickly. The sand can start moving on you, especially if you get out a ways. You don't stay in close to the rocks. Just be aware, and there's signs. But you can get some beautiful photography. Just be safe about it if you do venture out at low tide. I might turn around. Let me know if you want me to keep going. I think we're going to get whipped. I'll just stop talking. You can lower your volume for about a minute because I want to show you this view. Bear with me. So I hope you kind of feel like you're here. I'm just trying to take shelter around the corner. You'll see beautiful wildflowers all around. Some right here. And again, for anyone just popping in, we are at Mont Saint-Michel, which is right on the border of Normandy and Brittany. So we're in between a department called Manche and Ille-et-Vilaine, with the latter being the one in Brittany. And we also need to mention here Let me show you this view as I'm talking. It's kind of a hotly contested thing, a little controversial, is the Mont Saint-Michel in Brittany, or is it in Normandy? You could look that up online. So what we have here, look really closely, behind the wildflowers, I'm gonna try to point it out with my finger, that's the spire of the Abbey, right here with the Archangel, Michael, on top. You can see it peeking out. All right, I'm gonna try to keep going. We're gonna get whipped as we go around the corner, but please lower your volume if it gets to be too bad. Also, right here, this view over the rooftop, I'm gonna point it out with my finger. This is a dam. In French, that's called a barrage. Barrage. And that was constructed in 2014 when this, I almost said motorway, when this bridge was constructed. Again, if you came here back in the day, this was not here, and you were subject to the tidal schedule of the bay, which turns this into an island at high tide, but now it's unobstructed. You can take your bike here. We did that yesterday. You have to tie it up, lock it at the dam, and then walk in. That's about a 20-minute walk. Kind of stop to take pictures, or you can book it, but you do need to be comfortable with walking if you come here. Now, something else I always recommend, if you come to Brittany or you come to Normandy, even in the summer, if you come in the middle of July, be ready for crowds in normal times. And then also the other thing I always recommend is, even if it's warm at your hotel or wherever you are, you need to always wear layers. It's the biggest tip I could give you. So what I do is I wear a tank top or a t-shirt, and then I'll put either a long sleeve shirt over it, something sweat wicking, you know, so you're not sweating in cotton. You wear something over it, something that's breathable. And then I recommend a light rain jacket or a windbreaker, something you could tie around your waist. Also, bring something with a hood. And an umbrella is always really helpful. You just never know that with the just being here at the bay, near the ocean, you can get, 10 minutes outside the Mont Saint-Michel and it's sunny and you're in your tank top. Then you come here, you get to the top of the Abbey, clouds come in and you're absolutely freezing. So wear layers, wear your hiking shoes. Something else some people ask me, Tom, should we just look over the edge here? You think this might be good? Let's see. We're live here, folks, so we're just figuring out where we want to go. I don't know if that's the best view. Let's see what we have. We'll go here. Something else people have asked me is, do I recommend that you stay at a hotel here actually on the island or not? Because now with the bridge, right, you're not going to get stranded. Okay, this is where the sunset would be, if you kind of see the orange. I don't know if you could see that. Right here, and two brands that are very popular, I believe both are made in Brittany, they're Brittany, Normandy, is Armor Luxe, and St. James. They're both high-end brands. You can get the marinière shirt with the stripes, the typical Breton. Hey, Tom, let me show you this view right here, and then we'll head down and I'll show you another view. We're just kind of stuck in between the trees. So about the accommodations, let me just show you this view as I'm talking. If you look at the structure of this, it always amazes me looking at constructions this old. I can barely put a nail to hang a painting at my house. Can't believe this was all done, but really, really beautiful, huh? And again, no crowds. There's that spire. Wish I could take you up, folks, but unfortunately we are limited by the current times. Okay, so back what I was saying is about the accommodations. I'm going to give you some pros and cons. So if you come to Normandy or you come to Brittany, you come to the Mont Saint-Michel, and you come in peak summer season during normal times, July and August, you do need to be aware that it is very crowded here. This is not typical. I repeat, this is not typical at all. So if you're coming here in the heat of summer with a bunch of crowds, with your big suitcase and your carry-on, what did I say earlier? That this goes straight up and there are cobblestones. So if you don't really like to sweat, you don't want to lug your things in, even from the spot where the shuttle drops you off, you still need to walk a little bit to get to the base of the Mont Saint-Michel. So that's just something to keep in mind. Are you coming when it's going to be crowded? Are you coming with a lot of luggage? Do you like walking? Do you mind sweating a little bit? Do you tend to wear, clothing like silk to go out to a dinner outside where you're going to sweat a lot? If you have to walk, you don't want to ruin a nice piece of fabric, right? So that's something to keep in mind. And while I'm on that topic, let me just point out where that shuttle leaves you off. So if you look here on this road, the part of the shuttle kind of divides. There's seats, take my word on it, right here. That's where the shuttle drops you off. So let it focus. You still have to walk from here down to the Saint-Michel. Keep that in mind with your luggage. Maybe, you know, private companies, you can get something to drop you off here a little closer. But the other thing is that if you want to go to dinner, if you want to go to Saint-Malo, dîner à Cancale, you have to get out of this mont first. And again, with the crowds, the time it takes you to get to your car, get to your parking lot, it takes a while. And parking is not free. So just to give you current times, what we have is 14 euros, 14.20. Euro right now is about $1.13, around there. For the parking, I believe it's for the day, but it, you know, it's far from free. And if you come in after 7 p.m., it's only 4 euros. But if you come here with your car, factor that into the cost, and then every single time you want to go out, you have to get down the Mont Saint-Michel and then back up when you come back into your car. So what I would recommend is do something like what we're doing. We're staying at the Abbey's Mont Saint-Michel, about a 10-minute drive from here. Parking's free. Rooms are affordable, comfortable. It's well equipped. They have Tesla chargers if you have a Tesla or you rent a Tesla, which is a great idea. Look at this view. Look at that. All right. And that way you can kind of have a home base that's not right here in the Mont Saint-Michel. That's what I would recommend, my personal opinion. Especially if you come in the peak season, is to not come here and stay at a hotel in the Mont Saint-Michel. Also, people ask, how many days do I need in Brittany and Normandy? You need months. No, you don't. You do not need months. But I would say you could spend a half day you could spend multiple days anywhere, right? But to see a place, to feel like you've come and you've seen a little bit, I would say spend a half day, morning or afternoon. You could spend a morning and afternoon here in the Mont Saint-Michel. You could do the other half of the day in Cancale. That's going to be the closest. If you push out a little further, you'll get to Saint-Malo. You could stay in Saint-Malo, come here, do the exact opposite of what we're doing. But all of these places that I just mentioned, Dîner, Cancale, the Mont Saint-Michel, and Saint-Malo are all very accessible. So I would say come up for a weekend, stay in one place as your home base. Again, I would not, although there are beautiful places to stay here in the Mont. Trust me, if you come in the peak of summer, it's a little tricky if you want to get in and out quickly, especially with luggage. Here we go. Yeah, exactly. Gail is recommending the marinière shirt. And they really are high quality. They're not dinky little thin pieces of cotton. They're well-made shirts. They'll last a while if cared for properly. And it's not just shirts. Dresses, men's, women, kids' clothes. My goodness. I'll show you this view again. Here we go. Tell Tom to say hi to himself. Tom, say hi to everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Don't know if you heard him. He's not a big talker. He's a silent supporter. There we go. I'll show you the rooftops. All right, we'll head back to where we started a little bit. Oops, sorry. There we go. So if you haven't hit like on my page, I'd love for you to do that, so you could stay abreast of what we're doing. I don't do lives too often, but whenever I can get out and about, I try to turn on the camera and just at least give you a little taste of wherever we are. Here we go. So I think I mentioned the shuttles run very, very frequently. They are free. Right now, wearing a mask is obligatory. You cannot board it without a mask. They also sanitize your hands as you get on, a little squirt. There we go. And for anyone just joining me, I'll show you this view as we head over. I'll show you just some of the little streets. And then this will be posted to my page as a replay if you want to head back to the beginning. There we are. Look at this. So you can easily get a train, TGV, from Paris to surrounding cities. I don't believe the TGV is right into where we are here, but it is train accessible, more or less. You could take a train into Saint-Malo, other parts of Brittany. Rennes is a bit further, but if you're going to make a few days out of it, I highly recommend that you look into train schedules. Of course, you have the most freedom if you rent a car. And driving in France is not scary at all. There's a few things to keep in mind. You can find automatic cars if you're not comfortable driving a manual transmission. Okay, look at that. And here over the rooftops, we have the bay. There it is. And I don't know if my phone is picking up the beautiful turquoise, but the water really, really is pretty today. Okay, down we go. So let me show you the view of the steps of where we ran up earlier. Here we are. So you'll see kind of on the left and the right as we come down, it's all dark now and the doors are shut, but there are restaurants here. So something I always enjoy is you stop for a cocktail. You could do it at any time of day, you know, have a glass of wine or a juice, you know, in the morning, or, you know, 5 o'clock somewhere. So I guess you could do whatever. But something called apéro or apéritif is actually the drink. Something you could get here that's very popular is a kir breton. And a kir is my favorite cocktail for apéro and apéritif. And when the waiter comes to you in France at a restaurant, they're always going to ask you, after they say, you know, bonsoir, they're going to ask you a question. And it's going to, if you don't speak French, they ask you if you like your apéritif, or listen for, est-ce que vous désirez un apéritif? Est-ce que vous désirez un apéritif? So that's basically, do you desire, would you like an apéritif? And the answer is always yes when you're in Brittany and Normandy. And that kir, what I explained earlier, is traditional cider made in the region. It has a little bit of a bubble to it, but I wouldn't say it's super, super sparkling. It's not super bubbly. Has a tiny alcohol content, usually around 2-3%. And what makes it a kir is that there's going to be a little syrup, a crème de cassis, for example. That's the traditional one, I believe. But you could also ask for any other syrup that they have, such as peach, that's my favorite, strawberry, they're all different ones. And so they'll give you that cider in a nice glass. And let me show you that spire again. At the top there with the Archangel Michael. There we are. If you don't know where to look, let me just show you right here. It's blending into the clouds. There it is. Okay, and my favorite kir, it's not native to, I don't think it's native to Brittany. Is it, Tom? It's the kir royale. It's made with champagne. So sparkling wine with a little hint of whatever syrup you'd like. And that makes a great aperitif. So one thing to keep in mind, let me just show you a menu here. Pèlerin means pilgrim. One thing to keep in mind is when they come to your table and they ask you if you'd like an aperitif, when I first came to France, I thought they were asking for my drink order. So I'd say, yeah, I'd like a glass of wine, or, you know, you like a soda, whatever it is. They're not asking for your drink order with your meal. They're just asking if you want that pre-dinner cocktail, the apéro. And what it is it's usually served with some little finger snacks, some little munchies, whatever it is, little pretzels, little peanuts, something like that. And it's just something to whet your appetite, right? So you can get that. You could get alcoholic. There's nothing wrong with getting a non-alcoholic aperitif. Anything goes. You're the boss. Okay, this is the restaurant earlier that I thought was completely locked up. So unfortunately, yes, it is closed, but you can head in here. I don't know how the food is, but grab an aperitif when you come, and it overlooks the bay. So that's really beautiful. And let's see what the prices are like. Okay, so we can get all kinds of omelets. We can get regional specialties. Something else to look for when you come to France is something called the menu, spelled like menu, M-E-N-U, menu. That doesn't just mean this is the menu. It's a fixed price menu. Sorry, the word escaped me. So a prix fixe. And it doesn't, you know, in the US, in America, whenever I would hear prix fixe, I'd think, oh, well, that's really fancy. Ooh, I don't want to go there. No, a fixed price menu in France is super effective. It's also called a formule, that's spelled kind of like formula, with an E at the end. And what it is usually, it depends on the restaurant. I don't think we're getting anywhere interesting down here. Let's see. Looks like a private property, but I'll show you. These are just, again, cobblestones and little nooks and crannies, but we'll head back up. So normally what the formule, or the menu, has is a cost-effective way to get an appetizer, a main course, and a dessert. Or a combination of the above. You can just get the appetizer and the main course, get all three, or just the main course and the dessert. And it's often a little cheaper than if you grab one thing at a time. So, What do you think, Tom? Up here? No? Anything? Check it out. If you guys want to stick with me, let me know in the comments. I feel a little bit of drizzle, but we'll keep exploring. Again, sorry for the wind. I can't control that. We'll just peek over the edge as we're going up. Okay. That's where we came from. And again, if you have ever been here, my gosh, you are probably flipping out. You think this is a movie scene, a movie set that has no actors for the moment. No, this is real life, folks. There is no one here. Tour buses are not bringing in tourists from Asian countries for obvious reasons. This is a huge, huge tourist place. Again, I believe it is the top, or the second, no, it's the second top after Paris, top tourist site in France. Okay, it is raining. I want to protect my equipment, so I'm going to break into a full sprint to take you to this beautiful view. Here we go, here we go. Go, go, go. Pouring rain, but we're going. I'll show you the view. I'm going to show you the view as we're running. Siri just came on. Siri's trying to show us the view. Siri, get off my live broadcast. What are you doing? Siri, what are you doing? Okay, we're back. Sorry, guys. All right, we're running. We're running as fast as we can down the steps to show you what's going on over here. Okay, here we are. Some birds, some rooftops. So when it starts raining here, as you naturally guess, the clouds come in. Ah, look, there's like the last shuttle bus. Let me show you this. I'm going to lower my voice because these are private residences and I could see people are home. Some beautiful rooftop flowers. MJG Run Tours. You're very informative. I try. I unfortunately don't know a ton beyond what I told you in the beginning of the broadcast here about Mont Saint-Michel. I don't run tours. I don't live near here, unfortunately. But try to at least let you know what I know when I come places. Okay, and there's the rooftops. We'll look here. And as you can see, everything I showed you earlier, the horizon that we saw is now obstructed by the clouds, which have come down to very low visibility. If there were helicopters here, there are sometimes helicopter tours, they would not be flying now, and they would probably not have even taken off because of how low the cloud cover is right now. There's no visibility. Okay, we're gonna run back up these steps. Once again, I see some lights on in the Abbey, so unfortunately it's not open to the public. Here we are. There we go. Okay, something I always mention on my little walks. If you go and you speak absolutely French, is it a problem? No, it's not a problem, but learn 3 words, and they are bonjour, which is hello, obviously, or bonsoir in the evening. Does not matter if you say bonjour. Just say it. Do not come in and say hello. Next is au revoir, au revoir. Goodbye. Again, if you say it au revoir, that's better than nothing. And the third is merci. Now, of course, there are other ones. But those are the most important. So, bonjour, hello, au revoir, goodbye, and merci, which is thank you. Those are all you need to know. Commit them to memory. Use them as leniently as you can all the time. Whenever you enter a shop, even if you don't know the person, even if they're not looking at you, you enter a shop or restaurant, you always. Okay, we're gonna finish up, folks, because it is starting to rain. Just to finish my thought, of course you greet the person, they've said. Why wouldn't you greet the person? But you know what? When it's your second language, when you're enamored by everything you see, especially on a street like this, when you're not comfortable in French, when you don't really know what's up and you're jet lagged, know what goes out the window, basic etiquette and manners. So I could tell you when you come to... All right, so if you want the beautiful view of the Mont Saint-Michel